Hello, welcome to the course Problem Solving and Computer Programming using C. I am very happy to have you in this course. It's a pleasant surprise for me, but you are an important person. Do you know who is the best learner in the world? I am talking about the learning process. Who is the best learner in the world? The doctor, engineer, scientist, student. But according to me, the best learner is teacher. So teacher learns from the textbooks, from internet, from various other resources from the society. But the most important point is teacher learns from the students. So he has the greatest opportunity to learn from the young minds like you. So welcome to the course and enjoy. So what is the number one skill? What is the number one skill that is required for a person? There are a number of skills actually: communication skills, soft skills, problem solving skills, technical skills, interpersonal skills, reading skills, writing skills, etc. The list is endless. But what is the number one skill that is required? Of course, there is a lot of hype regarding the communication skills. So many people nowadays think that communication skills are the most important skills. So they think that it is the number one skill. But I don't agree with them. Communication skills are required. I am not trying to underestimate the importance of communication skills. They are required, but they are not the number one skill that is required for every person. So if you consider the good old movies, in fact, the movies or cinema started with what is called as Mookie drama. People don't speak, they will use only symbols. And using symbols they will communicate. In fact, in recent times also, maybe 20-30 years back, there is one movie called as Pushpaka Vimanam by Kamala Hassan. In which they don't speak, but still they communicate. So if communication skills are the number one skill that are required, then definitely English language teachers or students should be in the highest position. Is it true? No, they are not in the highest position. Of course, they occupy some respectable positions, but they are not in the highest positions. So it's not just the communication skills that are required for you. So according to me, considering you as an engineer, the number one skill that is required is problem solving skill. Now, why problem solving skill is the number one skill? So problem solving is required for us in everyday life. In everyday life, we solve many problems. In fact, if you consider the definition of engineering is all about problem solving. Engineering is about design. Engineering is all about problem solving. So for an engineer, problem solving is the number one skill that is required. Of course, the other skills are also required, but because engineering is all about problem solving, is the number one skill that is required. All other skills are equally important depending on the professions. Some skills may be more important than other skills. But we consider problem solving skill as the number one skill required for an engineer. And so in this course, we start with what is called as problem solving. So we don't try to solve all kinds of problems. We restrict ourselves to what are called as computational problems. The problems which can be solved using a computer, basically. So we concentrate on only computational problems. We don't concentrate on other kinds of problems. But of course, this is only one side of problems, one side of a coin. Problem solving is only one side of a coin. Now, why it is one side of a coin? So you may have the ability to solve the problems, but how do you demonstrate to the world? Particularly if you are a software engineer or computer science student, how do you demonstrate to the world that you are able to solve the problem? So for for computer science professionals, or for that matter for anybody nowadays, because everybody is looking for software jobs, and software has become integral part of our life. It's something like electricity. Electricity no more belongs to what is called as electrical engineers. What are called as it's not the electrical engineers who deal with electricity. So it is required for everybody. Everybody uses electricity. Similarly, nowadays everybody uses computers. Everybody uses software. Everybody uses software. So you have to demonstrate to the world that you can solve the problems. But how do you demonstrate? So you demonstrate through programming. You demonstrate through programming. So by doing programming, you demonstrate to the world that you can solve certain things. You can solve certain things. You can find solutions. You can give solutions to some problems. Nowadays, every device, including the household devices, have some programming ability. So even house makers do some kind of programming. So of course they work with the machines, and then they configure them. They set certain things. Suppose if you take a washing machine, the house maker will set the speed of that washing machine. So it's also a kind of programming, though they are not directly writing the code, but it's a way of programming. It's a way of programming. In fact, in future, probably you don't write the code like that. You don't write the code, and you will be just configuring. So you may reach a stage where the programs are automatically generated. But you, being a computer science engineer particularly, you have to provide that ability of automatically generating the code. So that means you have to write the code. Maybe the other people may not write the code. But as a computer science professional, you have to write the code. So in this course, we'll study about computer programming. Now, what is the language? There are a number of languages. In fact, computer programming languages. Number of computer programming languages are there. Which one you use? With which one you start? There's a lot of hype again regarding use of Python in the first semester, first year level, at the beginning course. Of course, you can use it. In fact, writing programs using Python may be simpler than writing programs using C language, because the amount of code which you are going to write with Python is less. But you don't develop problem solving ability, because Python is something like taking some spare parts, some parts, ready-made parts, and then fitting them together. That's what you do in Python. But it's not the language that is required at the first year level. We start with the C programming language. Now, why C programming language? Because C is procedure oriented. And we solve problems, or we got adapted to solving the problems in a procedure oriented manner. It appeals to the human cognition. So we are accustomed to solving the problems. So we start with easy language, using which you will be writing the programs in a procedure oriented manner. So we'll consider the C language. So the course is problem solving and computer programming using C language. So once again, I welcome you to the course. Enjoy. Don't think that you are going to change everything in the world. So we'll be learning programming. So enjoy your stay. Have a pleasure, and let's cherish. Thank you for joining this course. Enjoy.